yeah. Shoot, man.
Because it's not like when you visit Atlanta, if you're like, hey, man, you want to hang out? Everybody's like, yeah, what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
But here it's like, no, I can't. I have this thing that's in this weird place you've never heard of.
Are you ready?
I've never been more ready in my life. Wait for it. Very first time that I saw your brown eyes. All right. Okay, no, make it stop. Promise. All right. We're doing it.
Are you a Shy fan?
I hadn't heard the song before that episode, and it just got so stuck in my head.
Have you been listening to it since?
Yes.
Do you hit the high note?
I can't. It's not in my register. No, I could never do it. I don't even think I could do the low end of the harmonies.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that style of music,
Acapella?
Are more like 90s R&B, right?
Yeah.
That's when that's from?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Boys to Men, Guy is another one.
Okay.
And I was obsessed with, I saw that New Edition biopic, and I just got really into all that stuff.
The New Edition cinematic universe that was on BT.
Yeah.
I was waiting on the Johnny Gill solo movie.
They didn't make one. Yeah,
they didn't make one.
I guess I walked away from it knowing the least about him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's got a whole backstory, and he had albums with Stacey Lattisaw, and he's not from Boston. He's from Baltimore. He's got a whole other thing.
They didn't make it seem like he was from Boston, though, did they?
No. But what I'm saying is we've seen Boston a couple times, right? We saw the New Edition. Did you watch Bobby Brown?
Of course.
So you've seen Boston multiple times, but his backstory is Baltimore, and then he gets in this group with everyone else is from Boston.
I also feel like he might have looked the least like. No. The guy they had playing Ronnie DeVoe looked the least like him.
Ricky Bell didn't look like that guy either.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right.
Yeah, Ricky Bell, yeah. I feel like the Ronnie DeVoe is pretty good. He was tall.
True.
I
don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. Who cares?
It's hard. It's hard. If there were people who look like other people...
they can't sing or dance.
It'd be a no-brainer.
Right.
If you was watching Stranger Things, you was like, man, I think that's Ralph Tresvant. Then it would be a no-brainer,
That's true. But that kid from that was the kid that played young Ricky, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think. And then, but yeah, I don't know. You could also tell Michael Bivins had the most influence over the whole thing.
That might be true. Who has control over the biopic does affect the biopic.
Very much so. Because, I was thinking about it, and, I mean, he, I guess, earned it. He seems like he did a lot of work for them, but, they really got into people's, drug addiction, relationships, all this stuff. But then all the shots of him are oh, man, I have all this work. All this work I have to do.
He had to show his work. Jackson's An American Dream, produced by Jermaine Jackson. That's why when Jermaine leaves the group, it's such an epic moment. It's such a game changer,
Yeah, I hope I get control over the biopic if I'm ever a part of a group that does something excellent.
That's why him and Marlon, they got beef. That's why Marlon's the one getting beat.
Marlon Ballard?
We see Marlon Jackson getting beat.
Damn.
We see him almost getting kicked out the group. Nobody else almost gets kicked out the group.
And Jermaine Jackson was like, no, we're including this. Because fuck this dude.
Yeah. They almost became the Jackson 4. That was...
Damn.
With the little kids, yeah.
You know a lot about this stuff, way more than I do.
I love the Jacksons in American Dream. If you haven't seen it, lose my number. If you haven't seen the Jacksons in American Dream and you think you know me, get out.
When was it released?
It was originally on ABC in 1994.
Wow. So it was a made-for-TV thing, and they had him.
VH1 would play it. Once they got a hold of it, they would play it.
Okay.
They'd play it almost every Sunday.
To pivot a little bit while we're on the subject, did you see The Dirt, the Motley Crue biopic?
I did not.
Very different tone than the new edition.
When did The Dirt come out?
2 years ago.
Okay. All right.
Jeff Tremaine directed it.
Okay.
Tremaine Jackson.
Okay.
It was. I liked Motley Crue when I was a kid. I played guitar and shit, so you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in like a little band and stuff.
What was the name of your little band?
We didn't have one.
Y'all didn't have a name?
No, it never really got past.
Y'all with that? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. It never really got past the basement.
We're focused on the music, man. We're not focused on branding. We're not focused on the name. We're focused on the music.
We had some serious creative differences because I was would have liked to have thought I was the leader of the group, but I couldn't sing. So I would basically have to get our singer to sing what I would if I was capable of it. But we had very different styles, and it was a disaster, Rob.
Wow.
It was just an absolute disaster.
That sounds like a disaster. Well, this is the Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze.
And Will Foskey.
I'm here with somebody who is one of the most talented, most revered people in all of broadcasting. Where are you from Lincoln? No, Norfolk, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the one and only Johnny Carson is here today.
Yes, it's an honor to be here, Rob.
Johnny.
Yes.
I'm such a fan.
Well, I've got to say I'm a tremendous fan of yours as well. I really love the Book of Yay.
Oh, my God. Wow. How did you posthumously listen to a podcast?
Somebody dropped an iPhone in my cryogenic tank.
Wait, Johnny Carson's frozen?
Yes.
Wow.
I
That's
asked
crazy.
him not to put me next to Ed.
Man, wait, Ed's dead?
Hey, we were having fun.
Oh, no.
That sound can only mean one thing.
There can only be one thing.
Ed McMahon of Star Search is dead.
Dang, man. R.I.P. to Ed McMahon. Pour one out for Ed. Will you do voices? You could do Johnny Carson. Who else can you do?
Oh boy, I'm trying.
A boy.
I'm trying.
Let's hear the boy.
No, what? All right. let me adjust. Who else? Who was I doing recently? They're all just comedians that we like know. I learned I can do a pretty good with the Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Sam Elliott trying to host Saturday Night Live.
Could you guys pair me up with Megan Thee Stallion? I'm a big fan. Her hips are wider than the DVD aspect ratio of Lawrence of Arabia.
Sam, why do you know about that? Or Insecure Sam Elliott is my favorite character to do.
Okay,
I read
Sam Elliott.
I read the YouTube comments. You may think I'm just some tough old cowpoke, but it hurts my feelings.
What's the meanest one you've seen?
What do you mean?
YouTube comments.
God damn it.
Excuse me, I was having an episode. I don't care for the Colonel Sanders comparisons. I grew up in Sacramento, California. It's a common misconception that I'm from the South. I just have a really deep voice and like to go fly fishing with Johnny Carson.
Weren't you a professor in The Waterboy?
That was medulla oblongata.
I'm trying to think. It's hard to think of it when I'm on the spot. Sometimes I'll call our mutual friend Nick Murphy and just be like, Nick, you're never going to believe this, but the 90s Bulls are at my house. And he's just like, can we please not do that? And I'll just be like, I'll be Scottie Pippen and be like, it's okay to be. It's basically just Sam Elliott.
Sometimes Michael wouldn't pass me the ball.
That's just all I can do. And then Phil Jackson is my favorite one.
Michael.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Michael, no.
You know, Rob, the Sioux Indian tribe would call you a Heyoka. It's a backwards walking person.
So, Will, we have one rule on this podcast, and the one rule on this podcast,
Don't be
you
white
have
and
to-
do impressions of
you
black
have
people.
to figure out. You have to figure out. You got 15 minutes to figure out. You
Okay.
just got to figure out what the rule is.
Sounds good. Can we just continue it and I just try to assess as we move along?
Of course.
Okay.
That is the typical strategy of this podcast. I have some questions that I can ask you.
Okay. And also, can I ask this? Is it the same rule for every episode or does it change and someone has to?
That's a good question. So far, it's been the same.
Because nobody's gotten it?
People have gotten it.
Okay.
They've gotten hints and then they've gotten it. You know, people have come up with creative ways to figure it out.
All right.
Do you have siblings?
I do not.
Only child?
Yes.
Only child in a
Catholic
band.
Catholic only child.
Catholic
Very rare.
Rare.
Very
Okay.
rare.
Wow. So never are you gonna ride with who you gonna ride with home? It's always
Yeah,
you're
mom
in
and
the
dad,
back seat.
mom and dad, or my nana and grandpa.
okay.
They're frozen with Johnny Carson. They passed away, so shout out.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they're from New York. Whenever I do impressions of them, people I think, because again, impressions, people think I'm like making fun of like Jewish people or something. I'm like, no, they're just from Queens. Like that's just how everybody sounds.
Yeah.
2 cookies, William.
That's always that was my nana.
Man, shout out to Nana.
No more than 2 cookies, William.
Would it be crazy if I asked you the same thing over and over?
With you, Rob, I genuinely never know what to expect, so no.
Really?
Yeah, you're. I don't know how to explain it. You're very in control of your own reality, and sometimes, for people who don't know or understand you that well, it's like they have to come to you. I feel like
I'm in control of my own reality.
more so than a lot of people I know.
I've never heard it expressed that way.
Yeah,
That makes it sound too cool.
it
I
can,
don't
but
think
it can,
what
but it
I
can
got
be
going
though.
on
It can,
is that cool.
You don't have to do the comedian self-deprecating thing. I understand you may really feel that way, but that's just my observation.
Dang, you really got me sounding like a mutant out here.
No, you're not a mutant.
I control my own reality. That's what Mystique does too.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Mystique, the shapeshifter in the X-Men, she's blue.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't have cable till I was like 8, and then I was just SpongeBob the whole time / Looney Tunes. I know.
The X-Men came on regular TV. You gonna use the cable excuse? Fox Kids is for over the airways.
Well, I didn't get around to it. I was watching Arthur and fucking Dragon Tales.
See, yeah, right down the dial.
I know.
You
If
out
I
here
could,
learning how to read and stuff.
I know.
Oh, Arthur! Now a word from us kids. Those kids could never get the glasses right.
I know, man. But look, they made having a library card seem pretty cool.
Come on, that was bars. Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card.
Mm-hmm. Also, Jekyll, Hyde, Hyde, Jekyll. That's another one.
That's a great B-side.
Yeah.
That's a great B-side. They released them records real quick.
I always bring
like 3 minutes into the episode, 2 songs in.
Dude, there was one episode of Arthur. I always bring this up whenever Arthur comes up, where there was a moose. There was a singing moose that was singing about everything that was going on, and it used to give me nightmares. I used to not like it when that one would come on.
Buster Baxter,
Yeah.
he went away and he came back.
Yeah.
Buster Baxter.
That was
he
Art
went
Garfunkel.
away.
That was Art Garfunkel.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
That was him. That's why they gave him the little afro.
The same dude that did the music in The Graduate did the song when Buster Baxter went with his dad.
That is correct.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's
He's
nuts.
a sad, sad bunny.
A sad bunny. Oh, I forgot about
That doesn't sound sad.
I forgot about the sad bunny.
That's the one I always remember. I would always be scared that he'd come sing outside of my house, but it never happened.
What if Bad Bunny is just a bad translation and really he was referencing Buster? He really was supposed to be Sad Bunny?
He's a bad, bad bunny.
Oh, my God.
That would make sense with all the memes that would come later for Arthur.
Would it be crazy if I asked you the same thing over and over?
Counterpoint, would it be crazy if I answered the same every single time? Rob, you're in control of your own reality.
What?
I know.
That's insane.
And you can do the comedian self-deprecating thing, and that's fine because that might be how you truly feel. However, that's just how I feel.
That's nuts. Would it be crazy if I asked you the same thing over and over?
No.
Okay. Would it be
Okay.
crazy?
God, you're in such control right now, dude. It's so crazy.
I asked you the same. Oh no!
Oh no! Fire the cue
the
card
same
person.
thing
Fire the cue card
There we
person.
go. You can have
They
that
were
one
out of order.
over and over.
I'm so much further from figuring out what the rules are. So, okay. Is the rule that you cannot you cannot allow yourself to fall into any sort of understanding or security of what's going on?
No.
All right.
No, it's very simple. That might have been the craziest thing I've ever done on here.
No cursing?
Not a rule, but if you don't want to curse, don't have a problem with that.
Man, fuck that shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a combo.
Yeah. Not for network.
No. Let's see. I think you got about 8 minutes.
Okay.
Do you have a stand-ship? Is there someone that you're a big fan of?
Sure. There's a few. But that would imply that they like did something that like that you have to defend, right?
No, I think it's like the most heightened fanship. You know, you go as far the mental, like your thought process on this one particular artist or entity in culture.
Okay. That's a really good question. He's not doing so great right now, but I'm going to go Bam Margera.
Bam Margera?
Yes. He was a very influential person on me when I was younger. I liked that he was able to get a Lambo just from making videos and skateboarding. He's doing terrible right now, and I'm losing my standship for him a little, to be honest.
How far does it go? How far does it go for Bam? Are you playing the video game?
Back when I had a PlayStation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're watching Viva La Bam?
Absolutely. Watched some yesterday.
In Jackass 2 when Bam cries because of the snake situation.
Are you crying?
How do you feel?
Are
you crying with Bam?
I relate. I have animal-related phobias.
Okay.
And I would feel the same way were my friends to throw them at me.
Okay. If you saw it, Don or somebody from the Bam Viva La Bam universe in the streets, what you doing?
I would go up to them and be like, your show provided hours and hours of entertainment for me on a daily basis. Thank you very much. And walk away.
Wow.
Keep it simple.
Wow. That's love.
The saddest celebrity death ever for me was Ryan Dunn.
Man.
He was really my favorite because he was like funny. Bam was kind of a douche, but I always liked him because he was like the leader.
So the Steve-O roast, is that what got you into doing stand-up?
Yeah,
After that,
absolutely. I was like, oh yeah, Amy, you're going to talk about my boy? You're going to talk about my boy like that? Not up in here. I'm going to take you down.
Where'd you grow up, Will?
I grew up in Woodstock, Georgia.
Okay. All right.
It was weird, though. For 2 summers when I was 5 and 6, my mom was an author, and she wrote books about Ossabaw Island, which is off the coast of Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
So I spent 2 summers of my life on a literal like remote island. There was only one house on it, and a 94 or however old she was at the time year old lady lived there. I was there for her 100th birthday years later.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was very much like, I was a weird kid. It doesn't get more isolated than being an only child on an island by yourself. Like I hung out with the pigs and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a pig named Lucky. He was nice.
Did you ever get to name any of the pigs?
Yes. There was a piglet that had a white stripe in the middle of it, and I named it Oreo. Very original.
Wow. Okay. All right.
There was another pig there named Paul, and they named it was a piglet, and they named him that because he had like a little Elvis coif after Paul Mitchell, and because of the hair, I guess. And I thought because he had a name, he'd be nice, but he bit me. One of my
got bit by a pig?
They're mean, dude. They're not like pink pigs. They're like the boars, but some of them are tame.
So they got teeth on that, like outside of their mouths, type of thing.
Some of them had tusks, yeah, but when they're piglets, they don't.
Okay.
But Lucky was friendly, and I assumed that, he was Lucky's son or some shit.
No, you lucky. You lucky it ain't Peter.
He bit me, and one of my earliest memories was going, ow, Paul, like he was a person.
Oh, Paul, my fault.
That had done
my
something
apologies.
to me. It's all right. When I went back to the island later, when the woman had turned 100, Paul was a full-grown pig, and he was the leader of the pig pack, which I thought was very funny because they let him be in charge because of the hair.
Yeah.
Like in Gremlins or something.
Man.
I was like, man, they're superficial, even in pig world.
What if that's where Gremlins got it from?
They saw something like
that?
They
saw a pig, and then that's what made them, that's what got the whole thing started.
I mean, I tried feeding them after midnight, dude. Nothing cool happened. I was like, here you go, take the orange peels. don't tell anybody. But yeah, weird childhood. And then moved to Woodstock. And then that's when things got a little more like normal or whatever. I moved to like a neighborhood. And people in my neighborhood grew up playing roller hockey a lot, which is why my dad like wanted to move there because he's from Canada. And he thought it'd be cool if like I did that. So it was very, very rocket power years for a while there.
I did have an era where I was playing some street hockey.
Yeah. We had a league in Woodstock.
Y'all had a league?
Roller hockey league, yeah, because ice was like a little too expensive. Like if you want to play ice hockey in the South, you have to have like blue blood, like generational wealth. But the league was pretty cheap. And, like, it was pretty great. It was some of the most fun I ever had. It was like a full rink, but it was just concrete instead of ice. And I played for, like, a couple seasons.
Did y'all play with a ball or a puck?
A puck. Okay. You play with a ball when you're, like, really, really young. But, the little orange whatever puck with the little white dots on it.
Yeah. I've had a puck.
Okay.
I've had a street hockey puck.
Nice, dude. Did you have, what kind of stick do you remember? Was it an Easton?
Nerf.
Easton, Sherwood?
I had a Nerf stick.
Okay.
With the straight, you could be left hand or right hand.
Was it one of the rubbery ones that you could bend either way?
It was plastic.
Oh, nice.
So it slid on the asphalt. Great.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was orange and black, and it had all this padding and stuff on it. It was fire.
Mighty Ducks, man. It made everybody want to play.
Come on, Quack.
And the Atlanta Thrashers. R.I.P.
Quack. Yo. When the Thrashers left, they had a protest, and it was not enough people to stop traffic. It was literally 12 people out there trying to save a team. It's more people working on the outside of Phillips Arena than
I'm going to go ahead. Now would be an excellent time to brandish the Atlanta Thrashers tattoo I have.
Oh, let me see. Where is it?
It's a brown thrasher.
It's a brown thrasher
perched on a hockey stick.
Oh!
R.I.P. Thrashers.
Oh, that man! I had a Atlanta Thrashers fitted hat that I would wear in college, and it got me like people roasted me so hard.
I would imagine.
And it's like,
but which logo was it? Was it like the above view of the bird, or was it the one where it was the bird like wrapping his arm around?
It's the bird with the hockey
stick
in the
It looks like
wing.
a bowl, kind of.
Yeah. But it was
R.I.P.
fire. It was a fire hat. People are haters, man.
They left in 2011, and I'm so sad. If I ever do stand-up in Winnipeg, the first 10 minutes of my set is just going to be me yelling at them for taking my childhood away from me.
Yeah.
I used to go to games with my dad a lot. It's very fun.
I never been to a hockey game.
Really?
I'm part of the problem.
Dude, next...
I lived in Atlanta. Could went on Martyr and just went and seen
It would have cost you...
Chuck.
Solid reference,
Yeah.
yes. He was like one of the best player we ever had. He's a Hall of Famer for sure. But, dude, we'll go to a Kings game when hockey season starts. I'll come back out here. We'll go see the Kings.
Let's do it.
They're going to be really good this year.
Okay. Dope.
Or the Ducks. It might be more fun to go see the Ducks.
You've reached the 15-minute mark. Any ideas of what the rule is?
And the rule applies to the guest or to everybody or
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
The rule is I was going to say be yourself, but I've been doing impressions and it seems like you like that.
You can, I don't know. I feel like doing impressions is part of you being yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
But that's not the rule. That's a solid rule, though.
What happens if I get it wrong? Is it over?
It's not over.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I was scared of this being over.
No.
Let me see. I'm going to look at you and start saying things and judge by your face if I'm getting close.
All right.
She's kind of
She
stoic.
might not know the rule.
Blah, blah, blah. The rule is... God, I have no idea how I'm ever going to guess this. What if I just... I have no idea. All right. I have to say something. I think the rule is... can I have a hint?
Sure.
Okay.
The rule involves the use of a device.
Okay. Really? Don't check your phone?
That's not it. That's not it. We are not anti-emergencies here at the Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze. The rule is, you want to hear it?
Absolutely.
All right. The rule is you can't Google anything. You can't look anything up.
Oh, man.
Everything that we talk about here is just what's in your brain. So if you know it, that's cool. If you don't know it, you can make it up. We can make it up.
Like how Jeff Tremaine Jackson directed the Jackson 5 movie?
Sure.
Yeah.
From now on, that is law. Tremaine Jackson, famous director.
My name's Jermaine Jackson, and this is beating my kid's ass. But it's like disco-y, kind of.
I don't know if I'm not that good.
No, you don't have to.
I can't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it either. We'll get some hi-hats going later. Yeah. We'll get some 16th notes.
Will Foskey, do you think about other dimensions?
No.
No. So you're just cool here. You don't think about other places where other stuff's going on.
I feel like there's definitely life on other planets and stuff, but that's not another dimension.
No, that's like other universes.
I mean, I've thought about it before, like the idea that there's like, what is it, the infinite, I forget what it's called, but there's like everything that could possibly happen happens in a bunch of different things. I've thought about that before, but I'm a citizen of planet Earth, Rob. I try to keep it that way so I don't get overwhelmed.
A citizen of planet Earth.
Yes. Saying it like that makes me feel a little more grounded and less afraid of how everything is. It's like we're all here on Earth.
I guess so. I guess you can look at it like that.
When you zoom it all the way out, that's something that I have in common with some like kangaroo farmer in Australia or some shit.
Mm-hmm. A citizen of planet Earth does sound like, though, that you would recycle.
Yeah, could be better about that. And I realized as soon as I got throwing things away, because you grew up in the South and then coming out here, throwing things away. We throw things away where me and Rob come from. And throwing stuff away in LA people's houses is impossible. Because I'm like, which Trader Joe's bag does it go in? And then you look and I'm like, there's like an orange peel and a DVD case. Like, does it go in this one?
Well, see, like, New York got me in the recycle mode. Living in New York, because they're serious about it. They're like, you gotta put that box in the right place.
Yeah.
And then also, if it's got your address on it, you better peel that off, or else they'll track you down if they find it in the wrong place. You know, like it's serious.
Wow.
They're serious. It's too much trash. It's too many people.
Or else the citizens of the earth will pull up with their aviators and take you to jail.
LA's pretty serious. You know, where we're from, throwing it away is doing a good job. It's like, oh, he didn't throw it outside. He's doing good. He put it in a bag. He put it in a bag, you know?
Okay, maybe I misinterpreted the vibe of LA.
No. LA's a little different.
LA is a machine of success, and a machine of success makes waste. So I could see people caring a little less about throwing stuff away.
I just found out that most of the plastic out there was produced after 2004. I thought we were having a problem from the accumulation from the 70s all the way to now, and the Native American crying commercial and all that going on. That stuff's nothing compared to after Vote or Die, the plastic went crazy.
I don't know what it's going
to... After the College Dropout came out, 2004, Best Week Ever was on TV. That's when the plastic went crazy.
Why do you think that was? Because which is it? Boomers, what do you want? It's the metal toys were too dangerous, but then you give us the plastic ones, and now you're going to die, and it's going to be hot.
And the plastic has nowhere to go. Plastic was made from an accident.
We can't look it up.
We took an accident, and that's how they started making plastics.
What was the first plastic
stuff?
They
was doing stuff with chemicals, and then they started making stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just one little accident got me all those Legos over the years. Shout out to Legos.
Come on, man.
Great only child
hard,
toy.
Sturdy plastic. Don't care about your feet.
No, not at all.
At all, you know?
One of those flat ones gets up on its side.
You wish a G.I. Joe's thumb could be made out of Lego material. Weak thumb. You ever had
the Danish, Rob? They're an industrious people.
It would always be a little line when you know you losing that thumb. Once you lose that thumb, that G.I. Joe is unarmed. They can't hold a gun. They can't hold on to nothing.
All my old Legos, I'm pretty sure if they're still at my parents' house, still intact.
Come on, man. You rarely see a Lego with a crack in it.
Nope, those are Mega Blocks. Man, you got a bad batch.
Some real architecture going on into that.
I got to bring this up actually.
You got to.
Okay, I think you especially will appreciate this. So I had a friend was a drug dealer for a very long period of time.
This is a no snitching podcast.
I'm not saying any names. I'm not saying any names. We don't know who they are. But point is, when they decided it was time to stop doing that, which they have stopped doing, statute of limitations, all that stuff.
That's what's up.
Their first little venture was they were going to sell knockoff Legos. They're called Lepin, and it is Legos. I guess they just take all the ones from the factory floor. Like it is, it's not crappy Mega Bloks materials.
Okay,
but it's called Lepin, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like there's a Millennium Falcon and it says Star Wars, but it's Star Winners. The A is just an N. Everything about it is still the same though, and it's very illegal to get them. There's a bunch of Reddit pages and stuff about it. Lepin. That's interesting. I'm fascinated by the world of Lepin.
Yeah.
They ended up just getting a regular job and are doing fine now, but I kind of would have liked to have seen the Lepin timeline and what that all involved.
Man. So the drug game is the gateway to the Lepin game is what you're telling me.
Apparently. Because my thing always was, I'm like, this feels worse than selling weed.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like, first of all, you're going to just get arrested in a much more embarrassing way, probably make less money. And I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
Getting a bag full of tiny bricks and like opening it and looking to see if like the little number on the inside. This sounds hilarious though. This sounds like a hilarious thing visually.
It is.
To just see somebody with a briefcase and they got different Lego pieces, Lepin pieces and stuff. You know,
that's what I was saying. I was telling him, like, the way that a guy would sniff some of the coke to make sure it's real or put it on his gums.
Yeah,
they take that classic red 2x4 piece and they're like, like they all come into the Lepin factory.
And this plays
Lepin.
Hey.
Gucci Mane knows about Lepin.
Yeah. That's what this song is about. That's what a lot of people don't know.
He sells it by the pound, I heard. It's like I know the song, but it's still Rob, you have outdone yourself once again.
Man.
A true master of your reality.
Wow. That might be the name of my book. I might have to get you to sign that over.
Of course. Johnny Carson will interview you about it for the press release.
Would you rather be on a plane, a boat, or a bus? Or a train?
I've been on all of those in the past 36 hours except for a boat. So
wow.
I'm going to say
you can get on a boat here real easy.
I've been on some boats. I've been on varying levels of boats. I've never been on like a big cruise ship type thing. I never did that. But I've been on like a pontoon boat before, like Lake Allatoona.
A pontoon boat.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what's funny? The Lepin guy just bought a boat.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm very excited for the pirate adventures with the Lepin guy.
That's crazy.
Yep. All they have to do, they got it for like a deal that it just has to be ripping somebody off. But they got it for a really low price.
Wow.
I'm going to say it. I don't give a shit. They paid $1,500 for a boat. I'm like, this thing's going to explode. But they're rednecks, dude. They love fixing things.
Man, see, I'm imagining a whole different scenario where Lepin just got so lucrative for them that they had a yacht. My brain took it.
It's actually made out of Lepin. Is the craziest part. All the pieces that break, they're like, here, we'll put it right in.
People don't know
the Lego boats would float.
If you super glue the Legos, that's the trick. It might not float unless you super glue it.
Nothing's getting through, man.
Nothing's getting through.
You use the smooth pieces to line the top of it, the ones that don't have the bumps on it, you're good to go.
That's why they don't want you to have the Lepin, because they're too good.
That's right. Too many people making boats out of them on Lake Allatoona. Yeah. But yeah, dude, they're rednecks and they love fixing stuff. So I think it'll hopefully be intact by the end of the summer. I'll get to go on the boat.
3D printing, we had Lepin.
That's right.
Fries, tots, or sweet potato fries?
Fries.
Just regular fries?
Keep it classic. I didn't discover sweet potato fries until I was in my 20s.
We are recording this in the past, but the day we are recording this happens to be National French Fry Day. Did you know that?
I did not. Where's the best French fries in town, Rob? Where should I go celebrate?
The best French fries in town.
Should I go to In-N-Out Burger?
If you want them kind of cold.
Yeah. and vaguely Christian.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But the sign is an arrow pointing down.
Well,
you would think the arrow would go up if they were
just the way your mind works. You're right, though.
Yeah,
you're right. It looks like it would be in like a old-timey Tom and Jerry cartoon dream sequence about, him chasing Jerry too much, and now he's going down. That would be a staple. I watched a lot of Looney Tunes, as I mentioned earlier, and that was always, whatever main character it was didn't matter, but a staple of those would be someone fell asleep a little too close to the fireplace, and then it would be like a trippy hell episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It might even be a little older than that, but yeah, I'm like a huge nerd about like old cartoons.
Okay. What's your favorite old cartoon?
Tom and Jerry always made me laugh the hardest. I feel like it was the funniest. The dynamics between them. I liked that there was no talking.
But Tom and Jerry and like Looney Tunes, they're like generations apart.
Not real. It's funny. I actually know this. Tom and Jerry started in 1942 or something like that.
Yeah, that's World War II.
And the first Looney Tune was Porky Pig, which was in 1936. I think.
See.
They're all right.
See?
Fair.
Those kids are not sharing the same nostalgia.
But the Looney Tunes era that everybody thinks about was happening during that time with like Bugs and Daffy and Elmer Fudd and all that stuff. That was all in like the early 40s to like early 50s. And that
really?
Was, yeah.
Okay. Dang, I thought it was more separated. I thought Tom and Jerry was like didn't come around to the 50s. And the Looney Tunes was around in the 20s.
That was those crappy Disney cartoons.
Okay.
They really weren't funny at all. It would just be
Steamboat and yeah.
They'd go somewhere and then either the farm animals or furniture would just kind of dance for like 7 minutes and sometimes there'd be some blackface going on and that's it.
That's sad.
That's sad.
You're in the you barely got a story going on and you still got
they really shoehorned it in.
Yeah, they shoehorned it in. They had their gloves. They kept the gloves on.
Yeah, it was weird being like 8 or 9 watching them because there would be these DVDs of it. And then you remember Leonard Maltin? You remember him?
Yeah, I met him.
Really?
Yeah, that's the kind of people you meet out here in L.A.
Whoa, dude.
Leonard Maltin.
I could be on a boat with Leonard Maltin?
You could be on a boat with Leonard Maltin. He's cool. His daughter is cool. I met them I did a podcast, Never Seen It, the live version. And we did like a table read of some scenes from movies written by people who never saw the movie.
That sounds like a
Shout
lot
out
of
to
fun.
Kyle Ayers. But yeah, Leonard Maltin was there, and I was like, no, I've been seeing him on TV my whole life. That's crazy. He was cool.
Yeah, he would come on and be like, we're going to air it intact because it was a different time back then, and we think we should discuss this stuff.
Yeah.
And 8-year-old me was like, I can wrap my head around this.
Turner Classic Movies, they didn't switch it up.
What do you mean?
They didn't take out the scenes that are inappropriate now.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like what? What is an example? I can't even think of, I don't have enough of a knowledge of those.
It's in all kind of old movies. It's
you know
just
what?
a
I
random
can't
song, and you'll be like, yo, man, I didn't know they did us like that in this movie.
I watched Lolita, which is a problematic movie in so many ways.
Okay.
But there was a scene in it.
What's Lolita?
Well, have you heard of the Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein's plane? Basically, Lolita it was a book written by a Russian guy in the 50s, but it's about a man, an author who stays with this woman, and he falls in love with her 15-year-old daughter, and yes, the music cues are correct. The cellos are correct.
Wait, and Epstein's plane is named after this?
Yes, Rob.
The plane that Bill Clinton and Chris Tucker got on?
100%. I'm not 100% sure if the FBI named it that, as in we're going to catch them on the Lolita Express. But if Jeffrey Epstein named it, that is insane behavior, even for a billionaire pedophile.
Oh, the FBI, they be getting a little spicy.
They have to have their fun. You know? They have to figure out a way to make it fun.
And shout out to the FBI, man. We love y'all.
Sometimes.
Hey, no beef over here with the FBI.
Sometimes. We like your warnings at the beginnings of DVDs that you can't skip past.
Oh, you took it back.
Sometimes you
took
talk
it
to
back.
people.
The FBI had a presence in our childhood. Like, oh yeah, you want to watch Space Jam?
Just so
You're
you
gonna hear
know.
from the FBI first.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
The Bionicle movie is under serious surveillance.
Hey, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Before you get lost in New York, the FBI.
Mind your P's and Q's.
Mhm.
The FBI is onto you.
Don't
And if you get the
charge
DVD
people.
version, you go ahead. Try to click the skip button or rewind. They're not
No.
going to work.
That's illegal.
You're watching it for the required amount of time.
I would see that. I would see that FBI seal and straighten up in my seat. I
Sometimes there was a blue one, and sometimes it was a red one. What's
Yeah.
what's that
would.
about?
A red one.
What's that all about?
The red one, you in trouble. You see a red FBI thing, you are in trouble, boy.
It's blue one time, and you watch it, and it's
Yeah.
red again. You're like, what did I do? I shouldn't have brought my
swear.
friends over to watch it.
I brought it to school. Oh no.
Damn,
Oh
dude.
no.
You're in trouble.
I brought Power Rangers the movie to school, and it's a wrap.
You know, I will say though, I guess sure, shout out to the FBI, but clearly everybody you'd think more people would be busted for the piracy stuff if the FBI.
We have bigger fish to fry.
That's
okay.
true.
We got warehouses with Lepin in them.
That and the Lolita, the Low Lepin Express,
Yeah, the Low Lepin Express.
taking it all
They bring all the toys
from China over to the U.S.
to the island.
And my friend sells them to the other probation people's kids on Christmas because they got to have Christmas too. It's not their fault.
Do kids want the Lepin? Kids probably don't. Kids probably are like the only people who don't want it.
Here's the thing, though, Rob. I've done some extensive research on this.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see the box, you wouldn't know the difference.
Oh, so it's one of them things where, like, you tape the wrapping paper on it super hard, so now when you unwrap the gift, you messed it up a little bit. And so now you don't even know.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
don't even know.
I would say it's the equivalent of, like, you know how every year for, like, the championships, they got to make 2 sets of hats and shirts. You know?
Okay.
And that's why you see all these people in these third world countries
Yeah.
wearing, like, Seattle Supersonics NBA champions or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's still a nice quality shirt. It was still manufactured by the NBA. You know, everything was above board up until the Bulls beat you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Lego version of that.
Okay.
I don't know how they get it. I imagine it involves just a tremendous amount of child labor and attempted suicides. But hey,
Dang.
it's cheap.
Dang.
You got to
man.
get that Star Destroyer.
That's sad, man.
I know.
If you out here working in a Lepin factory, we got a number you can call.
Just call Leonard Maltin.
Just call somebody and talk to them about working in that factory because it's difficult. Outside or inside?
As a child, inside. As an adult, outside.
Okay.
I spent, the island was outside time that I didn't want. So after
Okay.
that, I was like, I've had enough outside. There's been alligators and snakes and pigs biting me.
Okay.
Let's bring it in. Let's have some Lego FBI warning time.
Okay.
But now that I'm an adult, traveling more for stand up, doing all that stuff, I'm like, let me touch grass, as the Instagram people say.
Touch grass.
Mhm.
Okay. Will, I don't know. I feel like we did comedy for a long time in the same city, but I might have been in a different, not like running to you that often.
Yeah.
I'd see you sometimes and stuff, but I knew you were doing your thing. You started with like a whole crew of guys that were kind of new to the scene when I first started like traveling and moving around and stuff. And so I would come back and then you guys would be working the road and making noise and stuff. And I don't know.
Are you referring to my friends at Ratchet People Meet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I do want to.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Please, let's talk about it. Man, that was the craziest introduction that a white kid from Woodstock, Georgia could have, I think.
bet.
It was pretty crazy because there were so many aspects of it that made it like weird, but also really cool. The way all of it started was I went to Kennesaw State for one semester before dropping out.
Okay.
And
what year?
This would have been 2013. So the fall of 2013, I was at Kennesaw State.
I did a show there with Ron G and Tyler.
Really?
Yeah. It was around that time, but it might have been
Shout out Tyler Chronicles.
Tyler Chronicles, yeah.
One of the first hosts to put me on stage. Cloud
yeah,
9.
Cloud9. I used to be there every week until like that era, and then
So anyways, I was there and I was skipping class. I was literally skipping because I didn't go. I would just go smoke weed and watch Louis specials in my car. That's like what I did when I was in college.
Wow.
And little did I know that was my college or whatever stupid thing people say. But anyway, and I remember that day I had an argument with my girlfriend because she was like, "What do you want to do?" And I remember just saying, "I want to be like Seth Rogen." And she was like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just want to be a comedian."
Yeah.
And I knew he wasn't a stand-up. Like, I knew all about stand-up and shit. But
well, he was
very early on.
when
That's
he was
right.
a teenager.
I'm not wearing flannel. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm all high now, and I'm walking through the hallway, and then I just hear, "Hey, white boy," and I, huh? And then they're like, "Do you want to be in this?" And it was Emmanuel and Philip Hudson. And their producers. Yeah, and they were making us. Dude, it trips me out every time I tell this story. They were making a sketch called Just Enough Academy, and the premise is they teach you how to get like a D-, like exactly enough to like not fail.
Yeah.
And they're like, all you got to do is just sit there and look like a bad student. And I'm like, like, oh my God. So I did, and they just thought I looked funny because I was like, 18, but sounded like this, like just like a dry old person. And so they asked me to be on camera, and I think I cursed too much or something, but they were like, we can't really use that, but we think you're really funny. And then Malik, their camera guy, gave me his card, and he was like, "Are you a comedian?"
Ooh,
and I was
card era.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to be." And he and he goes, "All right." He's like, "Start doing stand up, and then once you feel like you've gotten a little better, hit me up." Cut to a year later, I've done stand up a little bit now. And this was back in my wild times. I had taken some Xanax and was scooting around a Woodstock Kroger on one of the little scooty chairs.
What?
There was a time, Rob. There was a time. I was a wild boy, just like Machine Gun Kelly. But anyways, I made some stupid Snapchat like "they see me roll" or whatever obnoxious, stupid white suburban kid bullshit. But then Malik saw the Snapchat and was like, "Hey, we're doing a show. Come through. I want to introduce you to some people." And that show was the first socially profiled show that Ratchet People Meet did. So in one night, I met Nav, Marco, Erica, Moneybag.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know who else. But then they were like, okay, I at the time was like, I must be really good. But looking back, I think they were just like amused by just like how white I was. And they were like, let's just bring him around and just see what happens. And so I got exposed to, I just remember it literally went from Xanax at the Kroger to like smoking a blunt with Fetty Wap. You remember him?
Oh, yeah.
remember Fetty Wap?
Yeah, I remember Fetty Wap.
It was an interesting time. So there was all that. But then the one thing is, though, I feel like I was definitely kind of doing like the token white boy type of jokes.
Okay.
And, it's not really who I am. You know what I mean? I've always had like black friends and stuff like that, but I've never been like, yo, like that's never really been me.
Yeah.
But we had these like manager like type people at the time, and so they would have us do stand up for them. And instead of going to open mics, and Nav and Marco resisted and would just go, but I was just like a nerd from the suburbs. I'm like, I'll follow the rules, guys. And I remember doing stand-up like a shittier version of how I do it now, and them saying to me, I'll never forget this. They were like, "Will, black people don't like dry humor." And I was like, I don't think that's true. Like, man. I was just like, that's such a dismissive thing to say about a large group of people.
Yeah, no, I have experienced some of that.
Well, very dry.
That's what they say.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to put you in a box. I mean that in a good way. I like dry humor.
I don't see it.
Were you gasping? Were you like, he said the thing? Don't say that to Rob. do not. I'm
don't
sorry.
see
I'm
it,
sorry.
but-
It is our time to listen, Rob. I apologize.
No. It's been put on me. I don't know why people describe my comedy as such, but
That
it
was
is
why-
what it is.
But that was the reason why I really looked up to you also, like starting out, because you would be in all those spots, like Cloud9, Cats, whatever, but you just very low key, like chill delivery, and it'd be killing. And that's what made me be like, yeah, this is bullshit. Like,
Man, wow.
because also I kept thinking too, I'm like, you know what I bet black people also don't like is a white dude pandering to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like if
Like it might get a laugh, like "haha, what an idiot," but like nobody's gonna like stick with you after that. You know what I mean?
They're not gonna love you,
Right.
And I think you want the ability to be your authentic self. You want the ability to be able to just speak stream of conscious sometimes, and
Yeah.
you can't do that if you're doing a thing.
Right, and it took a long time to kind of break out of that. But even then, like, of course, when they'd be like, "Will, we have a sketch for you," and I'm like, "Okay, what police officer and or person am I getting robbed? Am I playing in this one today?" You know what I mean? Like, I was very kind of pigeonholed. Like people, other comics would be like, because they wanted to be in Ratchet People Meet and all that. They'd be like, "Oh man, you're like Larry Bird on the Dream Team," and I'm like, "No, I am like Christian Leitner on the Dream Team. I am a college kid that is lucky to be here."
Wow.
And is honestly not as good. Nav, shout out to Nav, the Charles Barkley of Ratchet People Meet.
Man.
No two ways about it.
This analogy is way deeper than I thought it was.
No
gonna be.
two ways about it. DC was Jordan, obviously.
Yeah.
I guess, what does that make Marco Karl Malone? I don't know.
Okay. This is checking out.
Okay. Moneybag, who would he be? I would say Pippen, because I've always thought very underrated, just as good as DC.
Okay.
Just a little less. Maybe the tattoos hurt him. I don't know.
Okay.
But he's doing fine. I think he's got, like, shout out Moneybag if you're listening.
Moneybag's great.
Huge
Moneybag
fan.
is a hilarious
The-
person.
The
This analogy is
the Rod Wave thing that he did, that I can't sleep at night. Did you? That's the greatest thing of all time. He would like do these like Shakespeare monologues sometimes. Like, I can't stress enough like how crazy it was going from Woodstock,
that group
Georgia.
Sounds nuts.
It was insane, and like, because people don't really know, like, I mean, they're all super famous now to me.
Yeah.
But again, it hasn't like crossed over, and I feel like maybe almost even by design. Like, I feel like that's almost part of what makes 85 South shows so good.
Yeah.
Is that they're just not, for lack of a better word, taking the white man's bullshit.
Or anybody's.
Yeah. Especially not Leonard Maltin and the FBI Lepin people. But anyways, it's so crazy because they were a big deal then. It was just such a weird thing that I just kind of got almost by accident.
Yeah.
But I felt like just a fly on the wall for some of the weirdest. Like, T.I. would come through all the time. I went to T.I.'s 35th birthday party.
Really?
Yeah. It was, to this day, probably one of the craziest experiences of my entire life.
What did you wear to T.I.'s 35th birthday party? Are you trying to dress up, or are you trying to just be...
By then, I had kind of figured out that perhaps the flat bill was not the move.
Okay.
That it's time to start trying to be a little more of who I like actually am. I remember but I wanted to look nice. I remember I had a Ralph Lauren black collared polo shirt with a red horse.
Okay.
I wore like
a
khaki
staple.
Yeah,
a staple.
Khaki denims and white and black Air Maxes.
Okay.
I remember.
All right.
And I think a watch.
So you trying to blend in, but you still yourself.
Yeah, the Air Maxes were a bit of a stretch.
Very safe.
But the rest of it was very much preppy Woodstock attire.
Did you bring a flash drive or a CD or something from your band to give?
Man, that would have been great. If I was, because I'm in a band now with some comics from Atlanta, Square Pizza, shout out.
Shout out to Square Pizza.
Shout out to Square Pizza. They're great. If I had that, absolutely I would have.
Okay.
But the stuff we were making back then, no. But what's crazy about that though is I had been on like a date with this girl, and I remember getting the call because it was going to be a free concert and then followed by T.I.'s birthday party. And I called her being like, "Hey, we can go to like VIP to a T.I. concert and then go to his birthday party. What do you think? She was like, I don't really know if I can. And I remember being like 19, being on the phone with her. Maybe I was 20, being like, hey, I'm going to ask you this one more time. Like, are you sure? And she was like, no. And I was in the car with my coworker who I had like just met, this dude, Mike. And he's hearing the call. And I hang up the phone with her and he's just looking at me like, and I was like, Mike, guess what? We're going to T.I.'s birthday party.
Wow.
So I just brought this dude that I like didn't even know that well just because he was like there. And I was like, yeah, we got to like leave. So
that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah. And it was a lot of stuff that was like that.
Yeah.
Like we would go
to like, did y'all go to any shows in like country towns?
Oh,
stuff?
yeah. Oh, big time. And like, I mean, it was kind of funny because I think I was like, there were some sketchy situations sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But what's so funny about it, what made them laugh, is I was Dave Chappelle's friend Chip in like every situation we were going in. That's, by the way, what I love about that character so much is of all the ways to make fun of white people, I feel like Dave was the first one to just get that just blind confidence to like any situation in spite of not knowing what the hell they're talking about. Because we would just be at these places. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. And people would just be like, we probably are going to leave. And I'm like, why? We're having a good time. Like I'm all drunk and shit. But it was all just so awesome. We would do these, a lot of HBCUs. Those were really fun to do. We performed at the Rialto Center downtown, which was crazy. And then we did Center Stage, which was like, yeah. And I remember
a lot of history at Center Stage.
Yeah, it was
Laugh-A-Palooza, Comic View.
Dude, it was crazy. And it was just crazy to be like, see how well DC's doing and Moneybag, Nav, Erica, just all these people.
Yeah.
And be like, we didn't start together, but like the fact that we had that time, you know, we were in the minor leagues together or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just insane to me. That's
cool.
It is cool. And I have so much love for all of them because they really like, I thought of it as bullying me at the time, but like looking back, I was like, I really needed that. Probably deserved it.
Yeah.
And you know, because there would be days, dude, where it was like, it felt like that school thing where like you might cry. Like there were some days like that for sure, but I just kept coming back and they were like, all right, I guess you're all right. And then now, you know, me and Nav still, I try to keep up with all of them as much as I can, but me and Nav talk a good bit. He really liked the Barkley comparison.
Shout out to Nav.
Man, Will, your jokes ain't shit.
Do you have anything you want to promote? Where can the people find you, find your stuff?
Absolutely. So I have a podcast. It's just audio right now, but it's called It Doesn't Always Have to Be Jokes with Will Foskey. And it's just basically just me talking. Sometimes I talk to other comics. But the big one, I just released my debut special on YouTube.
Ooh.
It's not doing bad. It's been out 5 days now. 5 days, about to hit 7K.
Okay.
I put up a little TikTok that got 2 million, and that's been helping me a lot.
Okay.
But please check it out. It's called All Things Sacred. Will Foskey, All Things Sacred, full special on YouTube. And these are the jokes that I wrote over all these years. And if you come see me now, I'm not doing those because I'm working on the next thing.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
Did you ever put out a special?
I put out an album.
I know you had the album.
I never put out a special.
I like excuse me. I like that joke a lot.
Oh, thank you.
That's like an all-timer.
But I'm working on something. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, we appreciate you coming through the podcast.
Dude, I appreciate you having me. This was a great time. It's an honor to be in the Star Destroyer floor building. Whoa, that's the one. That's the Marie Faustin noise. I keep up with the show.
Tune in next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, that was fun.
Dude.